Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday night. Time for our Rust Explode Studio show. So, Rust Explode Studios is sponsored by Wendy Steen Shaner. Check out Naughty Faeries, and Naughty Fairies Super Assassins #5 is available on Kickstarter right now. The link for that is in the description. Check out Naughty Fairies. If you're behind, there's the Etsy site link and everything else up there that you can go to get caught up on the project, or you can get caught up on the Kickstarter that's currently going right now. We have Melone Management with Lisa Melone. Do you have a project that you are running and you need some help with stretch goals? You need some help promoting it? You need somebody to do the work for you for your Kickstarter campaign while you crank out your project? Hit up Lisa Melone and she will take care of you. We have Codex Entertainment LLC with Luis Torres. Live the Demons Chapter 5 is dropping sometime this summer. And we have Nebula Pearl that just released back in February and was funded, that will be available from them soon as well. We also have 183 Degree Studios with Alfred Trujillo, Doobie Doobie Doo, and the birthday girl today, Miss Kara Nicole, AZ Power Girl. So check out their Patreons and their website above. Check out some of the art that is available on their website. We also have Outpost 426 with CB Zane and Michael Shoemaker. Check out Black Rabbit. It'll be dropping sometime this summer, as well as Into the Suck and Scorpiana that are available now. And last but not least, we have DPopp Customz. Do you have that print that needs a little pizzazz? It needs to be dusted off and hung up on the wall, but you just don't know how to display it. He can hook you up with some super sweet lit displays. So without further ado, we're going to bring out Katrina Roets.
Or Katrina Roets, whichever.
Roets. What? Well, see, that's the first time you've actually told me I pronounce it wrong. That's it. You're fired.
I know. I'm firing myself from the show. Gotta go.
So Roets.
Bye, guys. Roets.
Man, like we've been live like 8 or 9 times, and like I'm like Katrina Roets, and you're just like, oh, okay.
I think I've heard it so many times that I don't even think my brain responds most of the time to it. It's just like, oh yeah, that's how it's pronounced.
Well, I mean, it's spelled like poet, so that's why
it is.
Roet. So whatever, Roets.
Yep. Katrina Roets it, as Russell Nolte says. Katrina Roets it.
Roets it. So you are an editor and now the author of your second book, Apo's Army. First book, Tales from the Toy Store, which is a great children's story. My kids really enjoyed it. Tales from the Toy Store.
Tales from the Toy Store.
So I was quite surprised with this, back in, I guess, November-ish, December, whenever we were finishing up the edits for my book. You were talking about doing a second installment of Tales of the Toy Store, and then you started like, well, I might write story about cats, and then like, here we are. It's 5 months later, and we have Apo's Army.
We have Apo's Army, but we are also halfway through writing the second Tales in the Toy Store.
Oh man!
So the second book is coming. Second Tales in the Toy Store is coming. Second book is on Kickstarter, so it's kind of already here.
So I'm excited to hear this story. So, I know you've kind of hinted around about it, and you've talked about it here and there about Apo and how they have the sanctuary where they help out cats, and you were inspired by watching the Twitch view streams, and you're like, I'm going to write some fictional stories about these cats. So for everybody that wonders, what is Apo's Army? Tell us all about it.
Apo's Army is kind of a twofold thing. Apo is short for A-Poinsettia. He is a streamer on Twitch. I was introduced to him about 11 months ago, a year ago, somewhere right in that range. I know this because my subscription to his stream just hit 11 months. And he doesn't actually have a sanctuary. He's actually a college kid.
I got you.
And he goes around the area that he lives in Florida, and he feeds wild cat colonies. He also does TNR, which is trap, neuter, release. So for those cats who don't have the notched ears, which means they've already been spayed or neutered, we do from time to time, him with the sponsorship of his chat, do capture, and if they can be rehomed, those cats go up for adoption. Otherwise, they get released back into their area they were at. Hey. Oh, there you go. Hey, Trish. Um, so right now he actually has, but his sister's helping out right now. His sister and his mom at their place, but they actually have three mama cats with kittens. Unfortunately, these mama cats were not spayed in time, but they all got to give birth in a nice home, quiet environment. One of the mamas is being released back, but the kittens will go up for adoption. And the other two mamas will actually are super sweet and will actually be put up. They're young and will be put up for adoption, which is really cool.
So this Twitch stream is, I guess, he highlights some of these cats that are part of the cat family.
He actually goes out and he has an entire trunk full of friskies, as well as catnip and cat toys that are all donated by the Twitch chat. He has an Amazon wish list that people can buy from and send him
Well, that's
uh,
cool.
cans of food or catnip or toys or things for the cats. And he actually goes out and shows it's live feeding. If the weather's nice and he doesn't have to work and that kind of thing, he shows live feedings. All of the cats. I've been asked how I got the names for the cats. I didn't name the cats. The cats are all named via Twitch chat. He'll put the chat suggests names, and he puts up a poll with 4 or 5 different names on it, and they vote. We've got some interesting ones. We have the normal ones like Mittens, or I don't know, normal cat names that you hear all the time. Everything to Glacier Bay toilets, Lockheed Martin, something, something, something.
So there's a cat named Glacier Bay Toilets.
It's Glacier Bay something, something, something. It's like the model number off the toilet. That it's there's a cat named McRib, Oreo McFlurry. We're trying to get sponsored by McDonald's. It's pretty clear. Travis Scott Burger, which was on the McDonald's menu for a while. I think there might be a Big Mac now. They have an area that we go to that they call the McLake, which which is where where a lot of the McDonald's cats live.
Oh, that's great. That's
It's
hilarious.
it's a lot of fun. I've named a few. Mine have gotten voted on, or when it was my birthday, I got to just name one. I'm kind of everybody's like,
So
"Oh,
wait, let's back
she's
this up. So on your
spoiled."
birthday, you got to name one. So what is the name that you chose?
On my birthday, I named Sadie.
Sadie.
Yeah, unfortunately, she has come up missing, so we're not sure what has kind of happened with her. The thing about these guys is they do kind of come and go sometimes. She was missing one other time for about 3 weeks, and we thought, oh, something's happened to her, and then she popped up again. So people have joked that I need to write stories about where these guys go for weeks on end. Are they vacationing? Secret missions? What are they up to when they're gone for like 3 weeks on end?
So is that the inspiration for writing this book? Was everybody, talking about you writing stories about what they've been
No,
doing?
the talking about me writing stories happened after I wrote stories, and they're like,
Oh,
"Oh, she writes stories. Let's." No,
so now we know where the cats have been. She writes these stories and they're playing them out in real time.
That's right. They're acting them all out. You have Audrey Hepburn and Kitty Bowie. You
Kitty
know,
boy.
you know, they're out performing. They're doing movies. They're doing their thing. We just get to be lucky enough to be a part of their worlds.
So kind of talking about his A Poinsettia's Twitch stream a little bit. So
Yeah.
I guess you said it's a subscription base. So
Well,
you can pay for the subscription, which helps support them to support
you
the
can
cat.
you don't have to.
Yeah,
Um,
but they do
Twitch
have subscription levels where
Twitch
you could go.
does have subscription levels, and that goes a portion of that money goes to the streamer. And then he takes, that helps him continue to, with medical care and things like that, help pay for that kind of stuff for the
Yeah,
cats.
no, that's
The food,
awesome.
yeah, he takes, if you do a direct donation to him, that money goes towards the medical care for the cats. Like I said, pretty much, I don't think he's bought food in a year.
Yeah, well, and
Because
that's I kind of
people just want to help out and be a part of it. And you send in cans of cat food via Amazon, and he writes the name of who donated every single can on the cans. And he'll say that in, like when he's streaming, he'll be like, oh, this one came from RD Kiwi, or this one came from Katrina, or this one came from Ryan ACO.
Well, and I just kind of wanted to, bring that up just because of the fact if anybody's watching and then they're like, hey, I want to help out if this guy is going out to these cat colonies and
Yeah.
feeding them or whatever, they may be something they want to go watch, they get interested in, and they want to be a part of it. And, that's cool that they offer subscription levels to
Yeah.
where
And
that
it's
he's
it's
able
a
to.
fantastic community. Everybody is super nice, super friendly. We have a couple of troublemakers in the group, but it's all in good fun. They're the ones that come out with yeah. Yeah, that's yeah. Um Hey Stephanie. They're the ones that come up with the weird names
The ones that come up with
that
the
you're just
weird
like,
names.
I'm like,
So,
what? Where did you even think of that?
So what's his story? What motivated him to want to help these cats and go around to these? What it's just it's
I
just
don't.
insane that somebody came up with the idea like, hey, let's go to these colonies and feed them and let's create a Twitch stream. And it's really cool to see that
Well,
there's people that care.
I I'm gonna guess, and Apo, if you're listening to this, I'm guessing here. I'm not, trying to put words in your mouth. I think with him, and I say this as an old person, I think the idea of Twitch is a young person's idea. That kind of regular streaming and making that an income for yourself
Yeah,
is something I never would have thought of. You know, I think he's definitely an animal lover. Definitely loves cats. And just he's wants to be a vet tech. So I think it's just something that is kind of just ingrained in him to help where he can help. And nobody asked your opinion. Thank you. Cat's meowing behind me.
no.
Why are you meowing behind me? Zeus has his opinions on this too. He just
He
wants to
does.
let you know.
Well, I mean, the only reason I ask is just it's insane. Twitch was like kind of created as like a gamer stream and a gaming
Yeah.
community, and it's grown into so much more. But for somebody to pick up
Oh yeah.
the mic and the camera and to go around and be like, I'm gonna help cats, I'm gonna create a stream, and then it's really cool to see that he became successful at doing it, and that people hopped on board, and that it
Yeah.
spread the word, and then now A Poinsettia's got this book, Apo's Army,
Yeah.
that you wrote, to help promote the stream and, get people
Yeah.
interested in it. And
Well, and,
that's,
and I refer to Apo's army is kind of like I said, it's twofold. It's him and the cats, but I think it's also him and the fans. I now the meowing behind me wasn't enough. You had to come say hi.
he's like, oh, we're talking about cats.
Zeus,
Hi, Zeus.
I miss talking to you.
Hey, Zeus.
Yeah, you gonna say hi? No, I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
I was
difficult.
gonna let my kitty make an on-air appearance, but we talked about that before. She was nestled in between my legs and all curled up and had her paws stretched out, and I was like, I gotta get up, I got a live stream to do, and she's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I'm not taking you downstairs, I won't touch you. Just go back to sleep, you're good.
Yeah, this guy thinks if I'm on, he needs to make an appearance. Come on. Come on. Thank you. No, he wants to see your cat butt. Let's go.
And speaking of cat butt, it's the funniest thing ever. I remember when we talked about this on one of the shows that we did together a few weeks ago. You talked about you put a cat butt on the back page.
The back of the book has a cat butt on it. It's a wraparound cover of cats eating on the front, and one of them wraps around so the cat butt's on the back. Yeah.
And somebody's gonna walk up and see that on behind the book, and they're gonna be like, "Why is there a cat butt on that book?"
Because we can. Why not?
Yeah, because you can.
I think with anything you need to have fun with it.
That's right.
And it's and because this is mostly geared, okay, let's be honest, kids and butts. Kids love butts of all varieties because they're kids, and if they can
Oh
be like,
yeah.
look, mom, there's a cat butt on the back of this.
Oh yeah. It'll be
I've
fun.
already sold the book to the kid.
I mean, we did have this incident, on Mother's Day. I had to go get pull-ups, and I was standing in line, and I seen this hanging up, and it was $1, and I was like, "This is gonna be great." So when I got home, I put it on the edge of Roderick's bed, and it like literally looked like he just like hauled off and pooped on his bed. And so Roderick and I are sitting in the living room on the couch, and he's like, "Dad, why are you holding me?" I'm like, I'm pranking Mom." He's like, "What did you do?" And I'm like, "Shh, just let it play
Just
out."
wait.
And she walks in there, and you can just see like the question marks. It was like do 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 do. And she walks over there, and I mean, it was the funniest thing. She leans over and puts both hands on the bed, and she's like, "What is that?" And I couldn't contain it. I lost it. And and so yeah, kids and butts and fart and poop, and that's just it's funny. So it's definitely a drawing for the kids, something they can laugh and have fun with.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about
And,
April a
and
little
then
bit.
I can talk convince the parents that that's not what the book is about.
You could try to.
I can
So
try to.
I wanted to talk about Apo's Army a little bit, and give
Yeah.
people a little bit of background of what A Poinsettia is and how this book came to be, and kind of where the characters were based from. You didn't just like randomly like, "Hey, I'm gonna write cat stories."
I'm just gonna start
You
writing cat stories.
you watch this Twitch stream, you watch this guy feed and take care of these cat colonies, and you're like, that would be really cool to write stories about these cats and what adventures they have during the day when they're not on the streams getting fed.
Yeah.
What do they do when they're free in the city?
Right.
And so April's Army was born. So
Yep.
you handpicked several of the cats,
I did. My own cats are in there. I have 5 cats. For those who don't know, I am a crazy cat lady. Um, I gave up denying it after a while. So my own cats have their own stories in there. And then I went through the stream and kind of some of my favorite cats, and hand kind of picked them, and picked the ones that had really obvious names that would be a lot of fun to work with, like Audrey Hepburn and Kitty Bowie,
and
Rocky,
Rocky.
uh, and Rocky.
And everyone, we're
Rocky is
just going to tell you right now, don't be disappointed when you read it. It's not Rocky Balboa.
it is not. Although it's got a flavor of that, I'll say. It is not it is not a recreation of the Rocky movie. I didn't plagiarize it. It is its own story. Rocky has become a fan favorite. He was a fan favorite on the stream as well. So yeah, I just went through and picked kind of some of my favorites, and then sat down and started, thinking about, you know, what do they do when we're not around? What is their story? We don't obviously know what the
What do they do
history
when you're
are.
not around? They push glasses off the
Well,
countertops.
these guys are all outside, so there's not a whole lot of glasses to push off the countertop.
I
So,
know.
maybe they're, pushing leaves off the tree or something. I don't know. They're doing they're doing they're doing something.
They're walking around. They're looking for random cars with like a McDonald's cup sitting on top. Some lady's
That's
getting in
right.
her car, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, she's
Just
taking a
sploosh.
bath. Yeah, sploosh. And Rocky's like, ha 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 ha, and he takes off.
That sounds more like a Rorschach thing to do.
Or yeah, Rorschach. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a black and white cat named Rorschach, who lives in the alley location, and he is the only non-stray cat on the channel.
Really?
When we first started feeding him and everything, we didn't realize that he had no collar. Somebody actually realized that his ear wasn't notched, which is a sign of being neutered if you're a stray. And so they took him in and got him neutered. And then we found out that the apartment complex right behind where this is, somebody actually owns him.
Oh, man. They're like, who neutered my cat?
But I'm going to say, in the defense of the person who got him fixed, if you have a cat, they shouldn't be outside running around if they're not fixed. This is how we end up with an overabundance of kittens, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
you
where
know,
I work
as
at in
Bob
Pacific.
as Bob Barker would say, spay and neuter your pets, please.
Yeah. Well, and it's true. Like where I work at in Pacific, um, and I've really paid much attention to it. And one day they had a stray cat pickup where they were like going through and they were going to pick up all the stray cats. And I'm like, what stray cats? I don't ever see any cats. And I never really like was looking for them. And it's kind of
Mhm.
like, and it's kind of like that phenomenon when you buy a car because you're
And
like,
all of a
man,
sudden you see all of your car everywhere.
every time, everywhere you go, you see your car, and you're like, man, I bought the car that everybody bought. Well, it's the same thing with this. They're like, we're gonna spay and neuter all these cats and do this stray cat pickup. We're gonna adopt some of them out and release some of them. The one, of course, the ones that are crazy that are not going to be adoptable.
Right.
And it was like after that, I seen like 3,000 cats on the street. I'm like, every time I turned around, I'm like, oh wow, there's a cat. Like, I'll be darned,
Yeah.
there really is a cat
There is
problem.
there is a big cat problem in this country.
They're going to take over the world.
Yeah, one by one. It's a matter of time. But yeah, but then one day all of a sudden he showed up with a collar with a bell on it. We're like, oh, Rorschach, we're so sorry, dude. Like, but he always eats as if he hasn't been fed in days. So we're not sure how good of owners he has. He has owners, but he acts like he's starving. So he gets to feed with everybody else.
Hey, that's how all cats are. I mean, let's just be honest. You can fill their bowl like 3/4 of the way, and they look at you like you're starving them to death. They're like,
It's
really? Like,
there's nothing in there. Why haven't you fed me?
yeah, yeah. And then so you got to fill it to the top where, a little bit of spilling over, and then they give you the nod of approval, and you're able to leave. Because
Yeah,
they're the master. We're just the servant.
right, exactly.
That's how mine is.
But
I'll be
these,
sitting there, and I will quit petting her, and I have my hand on my lap, and she'll reach over with her paw and hook my hand and pull it back over and put it on
oh
top
yeah,
of
I've
her.
got one who'll do that. I've got one who does that.
I'm like, really? Why don't
He's
you come
also
over?
take he's 10 now, and he's taken to this is a fairly new behavior for him, which surprised me. He's taken to, like, if I'm sleeping, he'll come up and he'll pat my face. Like, wake up. I need you to pet me right now. And that's all he wants. He doesn't want to be fed or anything else. He just wants me to pet him. I'm like, dude, it's 4 a.m.
See, I need to train mine to get up like and sit behind me on the couch and just give me, shoulder rubs.
Yeah,
Just get up there and be
right.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, a little more to the
None of these
right.
guys do that.
But cats are awesome creatures. So, what are some
They
of these
are.
stories about? Like for the people that are interested in getting it for their kids, what kind of
Sure.
adventures can their kids look forward to?
Well, with Rocky, we've mentioned Rocky. Rocky works out in a gym, enjoys it, has his buddies at the gym, and one day a new group of cats shows up and they want to use the gym. And the old guys are not so keen on this. They don't want to share their space. And Russell's heard this story, so at least I think you heard the story, right?
No, I came in late on the stream when you
No, you
told me.
came in late, so you don't know the excitement that is Rocky's big fight.
No, I don't know anything about Rocky's fight.
Oh, so this group, they've got to settle their disagreement somehow, and so a dance battle breaks out,
Dance off.
a dance off, and I won't tell you who won or what happened after that, but it's a lot of fun. Like I said, Rocky has quickly become a fan favorite. There is a stretch goal, actually. If we hit $2,000, I will add another Rocky story to the book.
Awesome.
Due to popular demand.
Due to popular
Um,
demand. So I have to ask. So you got to name a cat for your birthday. Does Sadie make an appearance in this book?
I don't think she does. But Sadie is definitely going to be in the next book. There will be another book about the cats, and Sadie will definitely be in it.
And then also for the people that are watching or the people that are watching back, there's also a pledge for 5 lucky backers that will be able to have either a story
Yeah,
written about their
and
cat or a cat of their choosing.
there's only 3 of those left available.
Only 3 of those left. So if you have a cat
3
and
of those left. So
you want your
if you
cat,
want your cat in the book,
yeah, you want to have your
we
cat
can make that
immortalized
happen.
forever.
Yeah. Yeah, I will write you a custom story, and that will be included in the book. And you'll also get a copy of the book at that level too. I'm not going to put it in the book and then not let you have it.
Your cat got a story in the book. Buy
Here's the
a
book.
copy
Haha.
immediately.
No, I wouldn't do that to you. And we're also unlocking prints right now. We've unlocked the first 2 of the 3 prints, which is exciting. I love the 3rd print, which happens to be It's a story out of Tales from the Toy Store. It's Mittens when she meets the penguins.
Okay.
But this little Mittens happens to look just like the little Mittens in the alleyway, who actually recently was adopted. So she's no longer on the streets. She's got a cozy new home.
Oh,
So we're happy for her. We're gonna miss her. You get really attached to these cats. In some way, they become their own cats. Um, and it's exciting when they get adopted, but you miss them around the stream.
well, so that's how you're able to keep your count at 5 for the crazy cat lady, because you watch these streams and you like get attached to these cats from a distance,
Yeah,
right?
I do. And it's my I actually when Mittens got adopted, I don't know that Apo has actually announced that to everybody yet. He private messaged me to let me know. He's like, because I know you're super attached to her.
Oh,
She's like your cat. And so he private messaged me to let me know that she had actually been adopted.
well, that's cool.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
So another thing that's really cool about this story and in this book is you brought on a new artist. That
I
this is the
did.
first project that she's working on, and the handmade collectibles that are a part of the
Yeah.
Kickstarter are made by her as well.
Yeah. Her name is Max Strain. She's out of Florida and she just had her 20th birthday. I've been saying all along that she's 19, but she just had her 20th birthday. This is her first illustrated project. And yeah, we have keychains and we have figurines that she's going to custom make for the backers who pledge at those levels, which is really cool.
Now, how did you find her? Is she one of the
She
APO's followers as
she's
well?
actually Apo's girlfriend.
Oh, the
She
plot thickens.
I know. Do do do. They met working at like a pet shelter,
Okay.
and he introduced her to the stream. And then she started going out with him when she could, actually feeding the cats and getting to know them. And she's actually in charge of all his merchandise. But she's an incredibly talented young artist, who was super excited when I asked her if she'd be interested in doing the interior art. So we have, I think it's 8 pieces of interior art for the book.
I'm going to try to bring this up on here and show off a couple of these handmade pieces for anybody that wants to see what we're talking about. Let's see, share screen.
Yeah.
Any second now.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah, and I actually have one of Sadie and one of Mittens myself.
Oh, do you really? The
I do.
keychains?
I have 2 of them of the keychains myself. And these are all handmade, hand painted. Um, and then she does the little figurines too of the cats, which I think are just super cute.
And then here are some of the stretch goals. Sorry, it's lagging really bad
Yeah,
for
that's
some
okay.
reason.
Yeah, that's the rhino print that we've already unlocked. And then the prints are all done by Josh Lyman, for those who are familiar with his work.
I love the gnome one.
That's Toby the gnome. Um, he's a traveling guy, always looking for new adventures.
Yeah, I've always loved like the Romeo and Juliet,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and then after Roderick was, I guess he was in preschool, the No Malone, I think is what it was called,
Oh yeah, I think so.
and he really enjoyed that, and I love that. I thought it was cute, and this is really adorable too. Here,
This is Mittens and the Penguins. In the story in Tales from the Toy Store, Mittens comes to visit the toy store, and the penguins decide that Mittens must be a penguin because she's just like them. She's black and white. She likes to take naps. She likes to play games.
who
So she
doesn't like
must
taking naps? I mean,
she so she must be a penguin.
that's adorable. And then there's some of
Yeah,
the other ones.
unfortunately I don't have photos yet. My cover artist is designing the bookmarks. I told him he could put cat butt on the back if he really wanted to.
And there's the cat butt. It'll load here in a second, people. Give it a second here. We've got severe lagging issues going on for some reason tonight. There we go. There's the cat butt.
There you go. You can see the cat butt, how it wraps around. So, and the cover was actually based on a photo that I took, a screenshot that I took of some of the cats eating in one of the auto shop locations.
Oh, okay. So that's actually kind of based off of real stuff that you've seen on stream.
Yeah, yep. It's based on actual cats doing actual eating.
Yeah, I had somebody ask me, they're like, "Is that a dead animal they're eating?" I'm like, "No, it's cat kibble." Like, what?
No,
This is the kids' book.
I can guarantee that's Friskies.
It's Friskies.
It's Friskies, guys.
Hey, you never know. Maybe one day he'll get endorsed by Friskies and they'll just start sending them to.
We've tried. We've done like little mini Twitter campaigns and things like that, and they sent him a coupon for like 8 free cans. We're like, well, that's nice. That's about 30 seconds worth of feeding.
Well, I mean, to be honest, at least they're doing something. I mean, there's a lot of
absolutely.
You know, that's actually really cool. You know, they are at least send him coupons. Yeah. Most companies wouldn't even respond to something like that.
Right. Yeah. I have a squeaky chair tonight. Oh my gosh. Just squawking every time I move. I'm like, stop squawking, chair.
So what are the stories based on your cat? So like you got Zeus in there? Like is he like a mythological god?
No. With Zeus, we I'm trying to remember if my Zeus is in there. There is a Zeus in there, but he belongs to a friend of the stream. I'm trying to remember if my Zeus is actually in there. I know that Mina and Apollo are in there. Dorian is in there.
So do they make guest appearances in some of the other cat stories, or they actually have stories written about
them?
They
don't, but you'll see some of the I call them the Florida cats. I actually did a little blurb the other day with somebody's like, oh, give me your elevator pitch. I'm like, Florida man meets Florida cats and crazy Michigan girl writes about them.
Crazy Michigan girl writes about them.
But like with mine, a lot of the stories about my cats are a lot about how they found their homes.
Oh, okay.
Kind of told from their perspective.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, that's like Midnight. She's about 15 or 16. We don't really actually know, but she was a kitten, and they had found her, and we kind of talked about it like whenever you were live. I was typing about it, but I never really told the story. So Midnight is one of my stray rescues. Tiger was the other stray rescue. It's just weird how things. I was really sick. I guess about 15. No, it's been like 17 years ago. I was sick. My gallbladder had gone bad, and then we didn't know what was going on. But I was laid up on the couch, and that was when Tiffany and I were dating, and I was over at her house laying on the couch, and she found this cat underneath the front porch, and her cat had gone missing, so she was like, I'll take you inside, and he immediately came over and got up on the couch and laid on top of me and stayed there with me. Like, it wouldn't move. I went everywhere that I went. And so she got super upset because her cat became my cat.
He didn't
want anything to do with her. And he was a really good cat. And then so later on, we moved into an apartment in Washington. And she kept talking about wanting to get another animal because Tiger, again, wanted nothing to do with her. He was my cat. Yeah, it was my cat, So we went to the Humane Society here. And now we live like right up the street from it. But we went to the Humane Society. We went through and we looked at all the cats. And all the cats were like, man, we don't want anything to do with you. And so we were like about ready to give up. And I had my back turned and we were talking to the lady there. And I felt this on my back. And I heard squeak, 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 squeak. And I'm like, what the heck? And I turn around and there's Midnight. Well, she wasn't called Midnight then. She was called Miss Daisy May. Okay. And She's just this little bitty black fur ball, and she was like a little rabbit. I mean, she has like a super soft rabbit fur.
Oh yeah, yep,
And so I was like, can we take her to a room? You know, because they had the little room where you can play with them and
yeah.
interact with them. And she was just the sweetest thing. She would get super excited when she would come over to us, and her tail vibrates, and it still does to this day. Like when she gets really excited, her tail vibrates and goes. It's insane. I've never seen a cat do it before. But, you know, we took her to the room. She was super playful. And I was like, all right, how much is it? And this was back, you know, when I was like, 19, working two jobs, trying to
Right.
keep the apartment. And she was working a part-time job. And they're like, it's $275. And I was like, what?
Oh,
Yeah, it was like the brakes came screeching to a halt, and I'm like, there's no way I can afford that right now. Because of course they can include like all the shots, and then they spay
right.
or neuter them and all that. But
Mhm.
yeah, they're like $275. I was like, all right, well, I really want her. Can I come back next week for her? And like, well, we don't hold them, but she'll probably
Mm,
still be here, maybe. And I'm like, what do you mean, maybe? Like, well, she's been here for a few months now, and we're getting ready to put her down because that was back before they became a no-kill shelter.
okay.
And I was heartbroken. I was absolutely heartbroken. I did not have the money. I didn't have, credit cards then where I could just be like,
Yeah.
here, I'm going to take her home. And so I was like, I was totally heartbroken. And so we went back home. And the next week I went back in there, and like my heart was just like about to just
Yeah.
stop in my chest because I'm like, either she's gone or they put her down. And I walk in there, and I mean, she just screamed and her tail vibrated, and she was so excited to see us. And it was like, it's like, they say, you don't choose your pets choose you.
Mhm.
And it's totally true. And we bought her, and we took her home, and she's been a great cat. And,
Yeah.
I know she's getting old, and it makes me so sad. Like, as I tell my wife the other night, I was like, she's going to be, 15 or 16 here soon. I was like, she doesn't have much time left. And I'm going to be
Yeah.
heartbroken when something happens to her.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we have, like I said, we have 5 here, and 2 I found in my driveway. And they were one was 5 weeks old, the other one was probably about 6 weeks old.
Oh, man,
Um,
youngins.
Little ones. The Terror twins just turned 11 months, and they were an adoption from somebody that I know in the comic industry. Um, he rescued them when they were about 3 weeks old because their mother was killed.
Oh.
So we've got bottle babies all over the place here. And then my other one, he's the only one I actually adopted from a shelter. Um, and I got him when he was about a year old, and he's about 3 now, and still total trouble.
Yeah.
He's a good cat, but it took a while for him to adjust being here.
Yeah, we've
And
thought about getting.
if anybody ever sees me type hashtag adventures with Mac, that's who I'm talking about, and it's usually because he's gotten outside yet again.
No.
He'll escape out the front door, usually with my oldest, who's not quick enough to shut the door fast enough. And he'll get outside. He doesn't necessarily love it outside. He definitely doesn't love the outside cats. The other night I tried to get him in, and 3 of them just were determined they were going to hang out on my front porch. And so he was like, I'm not coming in the house because I have to go past them. I was like, would you stop being a big baby? You're bigger than all of them. He's a big boy. But he's just like, I'm just going to be a big baby about it. I'm not going to come in.
No, he's just trying to be cool. He's trying to be a
Yeah.
rebel, and he's like, "You want me to come in? Yeah, look at her. She's telling me to come in, and look at me. I'm like, nope.
Yeah. Look, hey guys, you see this? Watch me tell her no.
Yeah, watch me tell her no. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's not him being scared. He's like, haha, I got to build my street cred with these
We
outside
did these
cats.
outside cats. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I was like, would you guys just go somewhere else for a little bit? Just long enough for him to stop being cool and get his butt inside so I can go to bed.
Yeah, we've been tossing around getting another cat for the kids. Roderick and Adriana, they want their own pet, but they really
Uh,
have to learn their lesson with Midnight. Because we've kept Midnight away from them for a while. Like when they were babies, she was okay with them, but as they got older,
right.
they were too rambunctious for her. And she's
Yeah.
an older cat, and so she's like not used to this. And she's like, I don't want anything to do with you. I'm gonna punch you in
Yeah.
the face. Come on over here. I'll light you up. And she is the most easygoing cat. Like I could throw this cat all over the place and wrestle with her, and
Yeah.
she just like sits there and takes it. She thinks it's funny. One of the funniest things I used to do is she would climb in a Walmart bag, and I'd spin her around in the
Oh,
Walmart bag, and I'd set it down, and she'd get out and go like this, and then go back in the Walmart bag,
go
and then
back in
look
the
out
bag.
at me and was like, "Let's do it again." And so, she's like the most laid back cat I've ever known, and she just
Yeah.
loves to be loved, and she wants to love on you, but she doesn't want anything to do with the kids.
Oh yeah.
And
Well.
so we've been slowly like we kind of keep her downstairs away from
Hmm.
them, and so like we've been slowly working her back into
Yeah.
the upstairs of the house, and it's been going okay. She smoked Roderick in the face today because he was
Oh,
like, and I'm like, look, guys, you wanted to get your own animal, you've got to learn. You can't lay on top of them. You can't do this stuff. This is why she
right.
don't like you. And so, but I don't know, man. My wife is like, yeah, let's get another cat. And I'm like, man, I just don't want, Midnight to be like, feel like she's
Being
competing.
replaced.
Yeah. And it just breaks my heart thinking about that. So I'm like, maybe we'll get him a puppy.
Oh, that'll be better. I'm sure she'll
Oh,
like that better.
she doesn't mind dogs, honestly.
No?
No. When we used to house sit her mom's dogs, and they would come in, and we went. She never really had a problem with them, except for when they chased her. She wasn't so cool about that. She ran up and she's like, "Dad, save me!" And I'd be like,
Oh,
"You better stop it. Bust you up, son."
yeah. I've got two that play fetch.
Really?
Yeah, one he does it with milk rings,
Oh, yep.
or anything like Gatorade rings, anything like that. And the other one, she has this little tiny ball. It's probably only this big that she carries around. It is her toy. Nobody else plays with it, and she'll bring it to me, so I'll throw it for her.
Oh yeah, before we had kids, we would find milk rings everywhere.
Oh yeah,
Like they would be underneath the couch. There'd be a pile of them, and that's how Midnight is too. She'll do milk rings and hair ties. She has this
yeah,
infatuation with hair ties. My
yeah.
wife
I
will
know.
buy new ones, and Midnight carries them off.
And I've got to keep mine like in a closed box. Otherwise, yeah, the cat will steal the hair ties too.
So, what are some of the other adventures that the cats go through?
Well, we have Priscilla, who is a professional boxer. Um, let's see, who else do we have? We have Zeus, who has the coolest job. That not even his owner knows. It's very top secret. Let's see. We have Kitty Bowie, who's obviously a famous musician. Who we talk about. She told me the story about how she got her start and what it's like now for her. Audrey Hepburn talks about her movie career.
Okay. So now I do have a question too. Now, Tales of the
Yeah,
Toy Store had coloring pages in the back of it, like it
this
had the
one
sizes.
does too.
So this one does too.
This
So
one
that's
does too.
another thing. So
All of the. I can show you from Tales. I don't have any of them up. I don't have a copy of the book yet, guys. That's why we're on Kickstarter. This is actually. Let's see. This is actually Toby the gnome. Um, yes, let's see. Oh, it's all there we go. Maybe it's a little better. Trying to get focused here. It's really glary in here tonight. But that's Toby the Gnome. So all of our artwork in there is done in coloring book page format. And the same thing with April's Army. Except for there's more art in April's Army. I believe we have 4 in Tales from the Toy Store. And I think we have 6 or 8 in April's Army. And I did the same thing in the back of the book. There is a download link where you can download the actual art files and print them out and use them as coloring sheets.
yeah, that
And
way
if
if you have younger kids like me that like to color all over thing, they don't color over the
you can
words.
give them something to color on. Color this, and Miss Katrina will be excited to see it. Because I love seeing what the kids do with the pictures and how they interpret the characters, what they look like.
Nah, there's nothing like getting fan art. That's always a
Oh
fun
no,
thing.
it's the best thing. Um, so yeah, but the actual the thing is I was really don't tell him. Well, I'm telling you guys, this is on the down low.
On the
I was
download.
really lazy when I uploaded these files, so they're in the same folder as Tales from the Toy Store. So you actually get both both sets of coloring pages if you download this, or if you get the book and then go to download them.
And so, speaking of Tales of the Toy Store, for those of you that
Yeah.
are new to Miss Katrina here and her projects, tell us a little bit about Tales of the Toy Store, because it is an add-on that, or it's available in a bulk package
If
where you can
yep,
get both
if
books.
you yep, if you did miss Tales from the Toy Store, it is available as a reward tier. You can get both books either digital or in print. Sorry guys, I'm gonna listen to our squeaky chair here for a second. This is the most uncomfortable chair. I really need to replace it. Maybe that should be a stretch goal. Replace my chair.
New chair.
New chair, please. This thing is old and from somebody's office and squawks. Hear it? Um, but April's Army, or not April's Army, Tales from the Toy Store. Let's get back to the right book here, guys. Is 20 stories of toys and their lives. Usually when we're not looking. Um, we have Horace the tiger. Uh, well, we have lots of characters in there. Sam the giraffe. These are all toys that actually live in my house or did when my kids were little. And honestly, they're probably all still here. We're a bit of a pack rat family, so the important toys all kind of hung around, even though my kids are now 20 and 21. But they're still here. No, I'm sorry. We have Baby Sam and Bob the giraffe. It's Bob the giraffe. I did ground Baby Sam one time in my car because he wouldn't leave my oldest child alone. Yeah, it wasn't my youngest child causing trouble. It was, according to him, it was Baby Sam. So I had to put Baby Sam on timeout in the front seat so that he couldn't bother my oldest child.
That
And
sounds like Roderick blaming Cat for everything.
yeah. Well, it wasn't me, Mom. It was Sam. I said, well, Sam's on timeout in my front seat, and believe it or not, it worked. The rest of the car ride was peaceful.
Hey, you know what? I've had that with Roderick, and it's really funny. So, like Roderick, one night he would not go to sleep. He was in there just like doing backflips and cartwheels in his bed, and I'm like, Roderick, it's time to go to bed. It is almost 10 o'clock at night. You need to go to bed. You've got school tomorrow. And he's like, it's not me, Dad. Cat won't let me go to sleep. I was like, all
Hmm.
right. So I went in there and I took Cat and took him out with me. And lo and behold, we didn't hear anything for the rest of the night.
Yeah, funny how that is, isn't it?
Yeah. And so now it's the threatening rule. I was like, if Cat's causing trouble again, I'm gonna take him out of there. No, Dad, it's okay. I'll tell him to be good and I'll spank him. And you'll hear him in there. He'll spank his butt. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so funny. So they
Yeah,
both
kids
have
are a
their
hoot.
animals. So one of the big things that we did before all this BS happened last year is every year we would take them to Purina Farms
Okay.
in Gray Summit, and they always have like dog shows and stuff like that. And they
Hmm.
have this for Halloween. They have a haunted house and all this cool stuff for the kids to do,
Okay.
and dog shows and all kinds of cool stuff that they do. And it's like free to the public. I mean, you got to pay for parking, but I mean, still, it's like our zoo. It's free. And so when Roderick was a baby, and I wish I had the picture where I could show how cute he was. We got him a crab outfit, and he was a crab, and he was the cutest freaking crab you'll ever see in your entire life. And we took him to Purina Farms, and we went through the gift shop, and they had these cats that had a T-shirt on, and it had Purina Farms on it. And
Okay.
he loved Midnight when he was a little baby. She didn't love him, but he loved her. And so he was like, we went through the gift shop and he picked out this cat. Well, I've had to buy like 5 or 6 of them since then, because he's gotten so worn out and nasty. And it's like, this thing's a
Yeah.
biohazard.
Let me. I'll show you some. Oh, if I can dodge a cat toy here.
But we got him new ones. And so then it was really funny. So 2 years later, we take Adriana with us. And Adriana picked out a pig. So those are their big animals, because Daddy bought them for them when they were a baby, and they're super important.
This
And
guy here is not in the books, but when my oldest was little, this was his guy. I mean, look at this thing.
yeah. And it's like, isn't that insane how the stuffing just vaporizes?
I mean, it has no eyes anymore because they were like thread eyes. They're not there. It's got, I mean, there's holes in the back. It's been restuffed about 10 times. It's filthy, but it can't go in. It's been washed, but it's just permanently filthy now.
Yep,
But yeah, no, I mean, they pick their one and then that's it.
that's it.
Now, when he got a little older, he was big into frogs and rhinos. So we had a lot of frogs and rhinos around here. And if you read the book, there aren't any frogs, but there's definitely rhino and rhino's grandfather, who were actually stuffed rhinos that we had here at the house.
That's cool.
And baby Sam, who was my younger son's, was just a stuffed um just doll, just all, but it was all like stuffed. And baby Sam is in the book, as well as Bob the giraffe. Bob the giraffe was chatty and would never shut up.
So, do you have
So
one of your childhood toys? Is it in the book?
none of mine are in there. I do have some of my childhood like toys here.
So, what was
But they're
your one thing? I gotta ask you that. What was your one thing? I
it's
talked about
it's
mine the other day.
always been teddy bears. Mine's always been teddy bears. Although I have a goat here on my desk.
Oh yeah, the goat that you got as a gift. I remember you getting that. That thing's cute.
Yeah, for those who haven't seen the You Goat mail, that was sent to me by a friend of mine a while back from the You've Goat mail
Believe it
website.
or not, I had two. One of mine, like I loved The Land Before Time when I was a little kid. Like I
Hmm.
cried every time I watched it because it was such a sad movie. So I had all of the original Land Before Time figurines. Like I had
Oh
the,
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't even remember what their names are now, but I had the pterodactyl and I had the little
Ducky and
brontosaurus, Ducky.
Petrie.
Yep. And so my go to, my main thing that had to be with me at all times was my pound puppy.
Oh
And I named
yeah.
him Hush Puppy after Hush Puppy
Oh,
from Lamb Chops Play Along.
that's cute.
And I had the little brown one, and I almost passed out when I was in, like I said the other night on the stream, I almost passed out when I went to Target and pound puppies are back. And
Yes.
I'm like, I want to buy my kids one just because. And I want to buy me one.
Oh yeah, yeah. Or when like Care Bears came back, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yep.
I have a somewhere in one of my totes. I have a with the Grumpy Bears, but he's not an actual branded Care Bear. He's a handmade one. He's in a box. We have so many toys around this place. It's ridiculous. People are like, you've got books and toys, and I'm like, that's pretty much my world. Books and toys, and then I write about them as an excuse to have them.
Hey, you know what? Your characters got to come from somewhere, right?
They do, and sometimes just looking at them reminds me of either stories I told the kids when they were younger, or some little incident that happened that I can then use as a jump off point. You know, um, one of the stories in Tales from the Toy Store is about a giant yellow duck named Herbert. If you guys are familiar with squishables.com, they have these giant round stuffed animals, and I have a giant yellow duck. And when I say giant, I mean he's like, if you put him in a shopping cart, which I have, he takes up the entire shopping cart, like the front of it, like where you put a kid. He's a big guy, and I actually, when I lived in New York, took him out and took him to the grocery store with me, um, and like posed him in the cart with
Like he was a kid.
like he was a kid with like bags of like goldfish crackers and things like that, and I actually had pictures of him on the Squishables website. We There's another character in the book named Edgar. He's the same thing, but he's a big giant raven. But now my kittens like to use as a bed. He's so big that they've just like lay on him like he's a bed and sleep with him. But yeah, no, I mean, Tales from the Toy Store was my first book. I think it's so much fun. I've gotten really good feedback from kids, which is what matters to me, and parents who are like, my kids love this book, which means the parents are on board with it.
Well, Roderick and Adrian are anxiously awaiting book 2.
Yes, and I'm so excited about that. I'm excited about their fan art if Dad ever lets them finish it.
Yeah, I will. Well, see, here's the thing with my kids. Not only do they like to mark on the walls, they also like, we will go and buy nice brand new Crayola markers and they will color and run off with them and leave the lids off of them and they all dry out. So,
Oh,
yeah. So, like,
this is why
we find,
crayons and colored pencils are a thing.
yeah, well, I mean, the crowns, they just, like, Roger just snaps them in half just to be a butthole.
Mm,
Because,
yeah, well, that's a boy thing, I think.
yeah, it is. Well,
Mine
Adriana
used
gets
to
so
do that.
upset.
Mine used to do it, and I'd be like, "What are you doing? Do they color better when they're half a crayon?"
Well, look, Mom,
No.
now I've got two of
And
them.
now I've got two crayons. Oh, yeah. Please stop destroying the crayons. But yeah, and I'm hoping people are kids jump on board as much with April's Army. I do have one beta reader who's about 9 years old, and she's absolutely in love with it. She told her entire class about it, and I'm excited. I'm like, if
Oh,
she's
that's
excited,
cool.
then I'm excited because, you know, she's a picky kid
That's cool.
and she's in love with it, so that's awesome.
Is this thing gonna load? I guess so.
Maybe.
Maybe it keeps kicking me out of StreamYard, so I was trying to reload it, but whatever. It can do
Oh,
its thing.
oh, oh.
You know, the master and commander of the show over here. It's just like, no, we're not going to do it today.
Not feeling it.
So yeah, so we're definitely going to have some Rocky fan art coming.
That's
I'm
exciting.
working on a piece. I think everyone will enjoy it, even though it's not Rocky Balboa. It doesn't mean the fan art
Is not.
piece can't be.
That's
So,
exactly right. I do not limit my fan art. If you just come across one of the cat's names that you love and you just want to do something, go for it.
hey, and you never know; it might end up in the book, right?
That is actually true. I've actually said that if I get probably 4 or 5 pieces of fan art from Tales from the Toy Store, that the next book will have a little fan art section in the back of it.
Well, we'll have
So
to work on that this weekend and make sure we get it sent over to Katrina, so we'll Miss Roderick and Adriana can have their fan art section.
yeah, that's all right.
So, what other books do you have planned for the future? That's one of the questions I wanted to kind of get to with
Um,
you.
I think right now, we have the second Tales from the Toy Store book, which is in progress. I've written about half of it now. And following that will be another April's Army, which I'm considering calling Cobalt Castaways. Cobalt being Max's screen name,
Oh,
my
okay.
artist. She goes by Cobalt Castaway for like her Etsy shop and things like that. And I thought Cobalt Castaways is kind of cute too. So we might do that for a new title, but it's a working title right now. And that's my goal is I'm hoping by October to have the next Tales from the Toy Store out. I haven't decided yet if I'll kickstart it or not. Fingers crossed. I mean, this one has done really well, which gives me a little more faith in kickstarting another project. So I probably will, but my goal is to have it out for everybody by Christmas, so it can be a stocking stuffer or under the tree.
Well, that'll be cool.
Yeah, and then again, then we'll go next spring for
For
the
second
second April's
Castaway.
Army. Yeah. If I do more than 2 books a year, my cover artist will shoot me.
Oh, come on. Eric can do more work than that.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's always like, I'm so busy and I'm buying a house and I got all these projects at work and I've got blister and I know exactly like, come on, dude. I'm asking for like one cover every 6 months.
Well, you know what it is? It's he has to support Chuck. He's got to hold Chuck's weight in their
That's
project. So
yeah,
we'll blame it on
yeah.
Chuck. It's all Chuck's fault.
It's yeah, Chuck's not here to defend himself.
No, he's not.
He's
That's
no,
exactly.
what's he doing? He's doing his own show instead of even
Yeah.
coming over here and being supportive.
He's on there like, look at me, I'm important, I'm Canadian, and I burned all my pants, and all I have is shorts, and it snowed outside. Now what do I do?
Yeah, now what do I do? And oh, look, I'm wearing the same shirt in this picture as I was 4 years ago. It's like, I don't know that I'd be like announcing that.
Oh,
Just
geez.
claim you can time travel. Don't
Yeah.
Don't
Look,
be like my shirt's like forever old.
look, guys, this was me like an hour ago, but it was like in 4 years ago. Look at the date on the picture.
Right? Yeah, I mean, like, make it something cool. Don't be like, I'd pack the same shirt.
Back to
That's
the
boring.
Future.
I mean, you're writing this book, all about time travel and stuff, and you don't even use it? Come on.
I
Missed
know, right?
opportunity. Missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity. Totally. Totally
That could
agree.
have been a great Essence House plug. But
Could
no,
have been.
that Chuck. What are you gonna
So, do
do?
you have any other series that you're interested in writing? Like any like fiction besides the children's books? Like any adult fiction or?
Um, Not right now. I've played a little bit with some ideas for like a fantasy book. I actually own 3 covers for fantasy novels, but I haven't like actually started writing any of them yet. So, but I have the covers.
What's the hang up, Katrina? All right, let's hear it. What's the hang
Uh,
up?
I think the hang up is I'm enjoying writing kids' books too much. I mean, I don't think it's like anything like, oh, I can't do it or anything like that. I think it's just I'm having too much fun with the kids' stuff. Yeah, we do too, Trish. That's why we're giving him shit.
Yeah, so we gotta give him a hard time. I mean,
If we didn't love him, we'd just ignore the fact that he exists.
yeah, Chuck who?
But no, we're sitting here, giving him plugs for Essence House, and
I know, like what the hell? We're supposed to be talking about kids' books here, and you
I
know,
know.
and
But we had to
we
have a 3-minute segue into Chuck.
yeah, jeez, that's it. He's fired.
Yeah.
We'll kick him to the
Sorry.
curb.
Sorry, Chuck. We're kicking you out of the show.
Yeah, bye.
See you, Chuck.
Bye. All right, I'm back in. Yay! Yes. So
That's helpful.
yeah, that is really helpful. Well, I can end it from here. It's just a pain. I think what happened is I left that screen share open too long and it lagged itself out.
Oh, okay.
So it happens. Whatever. Operator error. Well, I'll
Yeah.
blame me.
Technology.
That's what I get for being the relief pitcher. So.
It's okay.
So now, I mean, this project seems really exciting. I like cats. The kids love cats. So this book will be right up their alley. I'm really excited to see some of the stories and delve into some of the crazy worlds that you imagined up and that you created for the cats. And not only am I excited about that, I'm also excited about the fact that A Poinsettia or and Cobalt will what is it? Cobalt Blue? You said.
How about Castaway?
Cobalt Castaway. So A
Yeah.
Poinsettia and Cobalt Castaway will get some more recognition through this. I mean,
Yeah.
is there a plug in the book for it?
There's a section in the book that explains what TNR is and
Okay.
how important that is. And there is a little section about the illustrator, so she has her own page.
Okay.
And then I do believe that there is a page regarding A Poinsettia and what it is that he does, kind of explaining what the title means.
Well, that's cool. Yeah,
So
definitely. I
yeah,
mean,
and
because it'll help.
I believe if I recall, it's been a while since I wrote it, that I do actually link to his Twitch page. So if anybody does want to go and check out what he's doing, they can do that.
Cool, because I mean that's the best part of all. Not only are kids going to enjoy this, it'll help bring some attention to somebody who's doing a great thing, and help get them more recognition, help get more supporters that can help fund it and
And
make it.
and what I would like to do once the book is off of Kickstarter, all the money from Kickstarter is going to pay for the costs involved with the book. My cover artist, the illustrator, all of the fun stuff that goes into making a book.
Printing,
The printing,
shipping.
the mailing,
Yep.
the milkshake for me to give me strength, as I try to get through the packing and the shipping. But once the book is off of Kickstarter, I would like, if it does well enough, I would actually like to take part of the proceeds and donate it back to them, to continue, so they can continue doing what they're doing. Because they are college kids, they're both working full time. They just got their first apartment. So it's a rough. I mean, we've all been there. It's rough when you're first starting out.
It's very rough. I mean,
So
like I said, when
I'd
I
like to
tried
be
to
able to,
adopt my cat,
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
$275. So, yeah, definitely being a college kid, I can only imagine,
yeah,
trying to make a living right now, being a college kid and doing what he's doing for all these
right.
animals.
So if the book does well enough, I'd like to take part of the profits from that and then donate them back in so that they can keep doing what they're doing.
Awesome. I definitely love the idea. I think it's great.
Yeah. And I've said since Russell added the $10,000 stretch goal
Yeah. The
of
$10,000 stretch goal is everyone gets to foster a kitten.
yeah,
Foster
and
kitties for everyone.
apparently I get to adopt another cat, and I've actually joked that if we do get that much, I will go down to Florida where they're at and adopt one of the kittens they're fostering currently. His name is Lur. That's L with 3 R's. I don't even know what that comes from. It's some fan thing that one of the crazy people named him.
That's one of the crazy people.
It's like Lur, ruler of planet something or other. But he's a cute little ginger and white thing. He's adorable. Um, but that's only if we hit $10,000.
That's only if we hit $10,000. So people,
That's
share this
right.
out, back it, love it, tell your friends to love
Yeah.
it, tell your
Yeah,
friends'
like we
friends to love it.
that's right. We just unlocked the 50th backer goal, which gets us the Toby print. We just unlocked the bookmarks. So we're making our way to stickers now. And I mean, who doesn't love stickers? I want to have a $20,000 stretch goal. You know what? Aim for the stars, Trish.
That's right, aim for the stars. I mean, heck, my first one, I had a $15,000 one for the. I think that was the one that was for the uh, around the nation Xenonite Titan World
Oh
Tour. That's what it
yes.
was, where we were
And
gonna
I
go.
and I actually I have a $3,000 goal, which to me seems a little nutty since it's my first Kickstarter. And I have a $3,000. I'll get a character tattooed on me live. So be a little crazy, have fun with it. I think that's one of the
So
most
so wait
important
a minute.
things.
So wait a minute. We gotta really play this up. So will this be your first tattoo?
No,
No. Okay.
no,
So we
it
won't
would
get to witness your like virgin tattoo
no,
screaming
no,
like,
it
"Oh
would
my
actually
God, what did I do?"
no, it'd actually be my fourth.
like we could really play this up. I mean, like if you had never been tattooed before, like people would.
It could
We just want to see you get tortured live for the
right,
very
right.
first time, needle to skin, the reaction, the oh my
Yeah.
God, what have I gotten myself into? And then like 10 minutes later, you're like, oh, it's not that bad because you
Oh,
just
it's
become,
it's oh, is that all? Okay,
it
we're
has that
good.
all. I tell you what, I don't
My
even
my
remember.
my tattoo guy would be like, seriously? Are you saying that's all? Let me fix that for you.
Let me fix that. Out of
No,
all
I
the
have an
ones I've,
amazing tattoo artist.
out of all the ones that I've gotten, the worst one is right here on that bone in your neck.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like I was all cool until they got like right up there, like towards like the hairline, and there was just this one spot where like it made every nerve in my back jump,
Yeah.
and I'm like, how
I
far is this thing going in? Like,
my first tattoo wraps my ankle bone.
oh jeez,
And the guy was like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "That's the only way the placement will work for this particular tattoo." And I was good until yeah, he got right there by that ankle bone. And I went, and that was it. I just got that little inhale through the teeth,
yeah. And
and
then you held your breath for the next 25 minutes, and you're like, all
and
right,
then
get done.
he was a not chatty tattoo artist.
Oh, those are
I
the
love
worst.
and my first tattoo, and I actually met my current tattoo artist because he worked in the same shop and came in and was actually talking to me. But the only thing this tattoo artist said to me, because it's a green vine with butterflies, and he was wiping the green, and he looks up at me out of nowhere and says, "Are you getting angry?" I was like, "No, why?" He goes, "Because you're turning green." I was like, "Seriously, you say nothing to me for like this entire time, and then you make a sad, Incredible Hulk joke? Really?"
You're fired. You are never tattooing me again. Get out. Get out.
And I was like, "No, I'm good." It's terrible, dude. Really?
I don't think I've ever had that issue. I think all of my tattoo art, maybe it's just because I'm a chatty person and I'm good at making people talk. Because like I will like literally drill them until they talk to me. But I
Yeah.
think all of them have been chatty. The last one that I had that did the full leg piece, man, we talked about all kinds of crazy stuff: movies, video games, comics. Like it was insane. I was like, "Oh, what? You're into comics too?" And we started talking about Neil Adams and all of his art
Yeah.
pieces. And it's like it's insane, uh, finding out how much in common, and that you're not the only person that's out there that's
Oh yeah.
into
We
certain
my
things.
tattoo artist and I, we talk kids and life and books and whatever's going on. Last time I was in there, he was telling me about his daughter's horseback riding lessons. And we just, yeah, we sit there and we talk and hang out, and he does his thing, and I'm like, thank God, because I've had a leg piece that's been in progress for about 3 years now. He's gonna shoot me because I got to get back in there to him. Life just kept getting in the way of me getting in to see him. And last time I went in there, he's like, now I've got to redo sections of this because you took so long. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Well, at least you can
But
still
but
go to them.
yeah. Well, he's actually, I need to get in touch with him because he's now not as much at the shop where I was going to. He's now an hour the other direction half the time. So I've got to pin him down to find out where I can come in and actually do
So where are we
the
doing this
next one.
piece, man? Are we doing it here? Are we doing it there?
Right. I just need to know, I've got a little bit of cash saved up so I can get the next section done. But where are we doing it at?
Oh no, wait! You're not doing the leg piece yet. We got to go in and get this cat character.
Yeah. Before we go back and work on the one that we've been working on forever, we need to do this totally separate piece. He'd shoot me.
He's gonna laugh and be like, "You really want me to tattoo this on you?" Like, it was a stretch goal for a Kickstarter. He's gonna be like,
Really? Really? You
"Really?"
offered that up? Yeah, because I get to decide which character it is and stuff. I'm not putting it up to a vote. I wanted with like Priscilla with little Priscilla the cat with boxing gloves on or something. I'm like,
Yeah,
no, no, or
no, it'd be Rocky with like a bruised eye and
right,
and the
right.
gloves on, and like he's on like a Dance Revolution
Pushing pad.
gamepad. I can just see it now. It'd be great.
I was like, yeah, we're not leaving this up to the. I'll do the tattoo, but I still get to choose the tattoo
So you guys heard this live. If she gets the $3,000, she has a stretch goal that she will go live and get tattooed on air.
on air. I will do it
On
live.
air.
I'm planning on doing like the inner forearm so that I can actually film it because it has to be somewhere that I can film that's not already tattooed.
Hey, you can do it on your face, like right in here where
Right,
no.
a little paw print right here by the eye.
What does this paw print by your eye
Yeah.
mean?
It's not a teardrop like from prison. It's a paw print.
It's like this is how
Like,
many. This is my cat street cred.
yeah, that's right. You think you're badass? Do you have a cat print tattoo on
Yeah,
your
do you have a
face?
cat print tattoo here? This is how many cats I've rescued from the alley. It's about to go all the way.
Yeah. We're just gonna we're gonna shave this section and just go all the way down
Yeah,
back of the neck and
cat prints. Yeah, you'll have the half shave and then the half flipped over.
right.
And
And
yeah, you'll be
eventually
like
we'll
all
have to shave
cyberpunk.
both sides so that it just wraps all the way around and looks like one of those old person glasses holders.
And they'd be like, look at the crazy cat lady. She's got paw print glasses holders.
That's right. I'll have it mitch so it lines up with my glasses.
Oh man, that's too funny.
But yeah, $3,000, guys. We'll do it.
$3,000 and we'll do
Three
it.
thousand.
Well, I don't want to hold you up a whole lot. We talked a lot about Tales from the Toy Store and what it's about. We talked a lot about APO and what the mission's all about with what they do and how
Yeah.
APO's Army came to be. There's coloring pages in it. There's a download
Yep.
link to download the coloring pages in it. Both books are available on the Kickstarter.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
if
As
you
well as
would,
keychains and figurines, and everybody's getting a bookmark now. So
lots of fun
keep,
stuff. At
keep
$3,000,
pushing.
you get a live tattooing of Katrina.
Yeah, $1,500. We get stickers, which I'm excited about. I love stickers.
Oh, stickers are awesome. I got
I
stickers
don't.
coming again this week. I just got an
I don't know
email
any.
before I got
And
on
I
here.
don't. And I don't know any kid who doesn't like stickers. So get your kids some stickers that they can like put on the wall next to
Yeah.
their drawing of cats.
Shh. Don't tell them that. No. No.
My kids are old enough that they don't do that shit.
Mine
They
aren't.
shh.
Sometimes Roger goes back and watches the show because he's just totally infatuated
Oh,
with the fact that I
Roger,
have a show.
don't color on the walls.
Yeah, you
That's
tell him
bad.
that. All right, I'm gonna cut that out. I'm
Caption the
isolated,
part.
and it's just gonna
No,
play over and over. No, Roger,
don't
no,
draw on the walls. That's
don't do
bad.
it. Don't do it. That's
I'll
bad.
shake my finger at you.
But
It's
yeah,
very
everybody
threatening.
loves stickers. Everybody loves stickers. Like I
Everybody
said,
loves
before I got on
stickers.
here, I got an email like I don't know about 20 minutes before we went live that my other sticker order is on its way. So
Oh,
I'm
that's
pretty excited to
exciting.
get those. Yeah.
Guys, we got to do stickers. You know why? Because I have a hold on a fabulous deal on Sticker Mule right now. It's holding for me.
Jeez, Katrina. Well, I'm gonna give you a
Well,
full
look,
screen.
this is how prepared I am, though. I'm ready for you guys. Let's get there. Let's do
Let's get
it.
there. Let's do it. Hey,
Do
man,
it.
there's nothing wrong with being prepared.
That's right.
So I'm gonna give you the full screen. I
All
want you
right.
to give everybody the elevator pitch of Toils from the Toy Store and Apo's Army,
All
and
right.
tell everybody where they can find you while I drop your Kickstarter link into the comments.
All right. Well, guys, I'm Katrina Roets with Cat Scratch Press. Cat Scratch Press is my publishing house, which publishes just me. And we also do editing. So if you're looking for an editor, please go to catscratchpress.com and check me out. Apo's Army is currently on Kickstarter. It is 20 plus stories about awesome cats living down in Florida and what they do when we're not around. These guys are all strays and they have amazing, fabulous, exciting lives that we just don't know about until now. And if you missed Tales from the Toy Store, let me pick it up and show you guys. If you missed Tales from the Toy Store, it is also available as a reward tier on the Kickstarter. You can pick that up. That is 20 plus. I'll say 20 plus. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's 20 with some preview stories all about toys who live in a toy store and what they do when we're not looking. And yeah, if you want to find me, I'm at Cat Scratch Press on Facebook or Katrina Roets, ROETS. I'm also on Instagram under at Life with Katie, where I'm posting actual photos of the cats that are in the book. So if you guys want a sneak peek of some of the cats and a little bit about their stories, you can follow me on Instagram. And I think that's about it. I'm on Twitter too under at Katrina Roets, but I'm not there a whole lot. So your best bet is Facebook or Instagram if you want to get in touch with me.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't do a whole lot of on Twitter either. But yeah.
I can't keep up with all the social medias. Ooh, your
Yeah.
copy looks better than my copy. My copy's getting a little bit beat up from being held up. A little
Yeah.
tear.
Well,
I got a little
mine.
tear on the cover.
Well, the kids spilled something all over the back of it. There's a couple of stains on it right here, but
That's all right. That just
it's
means
all
it's
good.
being loved.
Yeah, no, I keep a hold of it because if they run off with it, they'll cut the characters out on the pages and stuff. They're yeah.
You need to print out those pages for them, Dad. Then they don't need to cut them out.
Oh, we print the pages out, then they just cut those out and throw them all over the house.
They're like when we were kids and we had paper dolls. That's all.
Yeah. Well,
I'm I'm,
Tiffany bought them
trying
some of
I'm
them.
trying to help you kids. I'm trying.
Tiffany bought them some of those Chinese finger puzzles. Like the
Oh
little
yeah, yeah.
little Pac-Man that we used to make. They have like little craft kits
Yeah.
now that they have cool stuff in them. Yeah, they cut them up instead. I was like, what are you guys doing? Like, this is not how you're supposed to do that. Gotta love kids. So yeah, no,
Your
I
kids
am in.
your
I
kids
stay
just
in
like
possession.
your kids just like confetti.
Yeah, like you should see my living room floor. It's literally confetti. Adriana just cuts everything up, including her bangs off the other day.
Oh no.
Yeah, so like we've had Dad as barbershop for like since the whole pandemic thing started.
Mhm.
So Roderick made the mistake. He had a bald spot here and here that he cut with a pair of scissors. So I told him, I said, when I get home, I'm gonna shave all your hair off. And he's like, yeah, whatever. I got home and I showed him he was gonna be bald, which is why he's Roderick Balderdash. But
Oh no.
but Adriana, Tiffany was mad that I cut her hair. Absolutely livid, mad
Oh.
that I cut her hair. And but then she was like, oh, Adriana was like, well, I like it, Mom. Daddy's gonna cut my hair, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Ooh,
And so,
feisty.
yeah, so Tiffany told her, she's like, well, I don't, that's fine. If you want daddy to cut your hair, he can cut your hair, but he's not touching your bangs. Well, I don't want my bangs, Mom. And so I cut her hair. I left the bangs. And about a week later, she got a hold of the scissors and took them in her
And just,
room. The next morning, she cut them off. And Adriana's,
oh,
and Tiffany calls me at work and she goes, yeah, guess what your daughter did? I was like, knowing her,
some
there's no telling.
something because she's my daughter all of a sudden.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, what did she do? And she said, she cut her bangs off. I was like, well, she told you she didn't want them, so she took care of it herself.
Usually you grow them out, you don't cut them off.
Yeah, she cut them off. I mean, it doesn't look bad because we fixed it, but I just thought it was funny, Like my kids, like you tell them they can't do something, they take matters into their own hands.
It's gonna get done. You just gotta. I
Lord
don't miss
help me.
those. I don't miss those days.
I won't either when they're gone.
I love my kids. I loved when they were, small and they were growing up and some of the stuff they would do that was cute. Some of the other stuff I'm just like, mm-mm. You couldn't pay me to go back.
Oh, you mean like 2 months ago when I made my chicken bacon ranch sandwiches, and I told Tiffany, I was like, man, these are some bomb ass sandwiches. Like they were awesome because I made ours with mango habanero, and then we did like applewood smoked bacon and
Ooh.
cheese and black olives and then
Well, you lost me at olives.
my homemade ranch. Shame on everybody that hates on black olives. There's something wrong with all you people.
I'm not hating on them. I just don't like them.
I
They're fine
hate
for other people.
So I make these, and Adriana's like, "Oh my gosh, I love these sandwiches." And so we didn't have them for like a month and a half. Well, anyway, I'm in the kitchen, I'm making them again, and Adriana says, "Hey, Dad, what are we having for lunch? Or for dinner?" And I said, "Oh, we're having sandwiches." And she's like, "Ew." And I'm like,
Mm,
"Why is it ew?" Like that's my kids. I make something, they love it, and the next time I make it, they're like, "Ew, I don't like that."
mm,
But they eat it,
yeah,
and then they're like, "Oh, Dad, this is really good." But before, while I'm making it, it's ew. So
yeah.
anyway, so it's great. So like it's been almost 2 months. I make the sandwiches up. I put them on the plate and I put them on the table. Well, Adriana's already sitting in her chair. Roderick's in the other room, and Roderick yells in. He goes, "Adriana, what are we having?" And Adriana doesn't miss a beat. She goes, "Oh man, Roderick, these are Daddy's bomb ass sandwiches." And Tiffany goes, "Adriana," and she's like, "What, Mom? That's what Daddy calls them." She's like, "Hun." I was like, I was cracking up laughing. I was like, the fact that she even remembered that. And he's like,
My ex-husband at one point refused to take any of us out to eat because my youngest, um, we were at Applebee's. And of course, they're hungry. They don't have the patience to wait for their food. And I don't remember what was said. Um, I think something like, you sit down and wait, your food will be here in a few minutes. And my youngest just goes, shit. And I'm going,
"Oh Lord, help me! These people are gonna think I'm a terrible parent."
well, I just kind of went, I'm a little more laid back about this kind of thing. I know I don't want my child saying that kind of stuff and definitely not in public. But to me, it wasn't the end of the world. To my ex-husband, he wouldn't take us out to eat for like 3 months, especially since the table next to us was an older couple, grandparent age, who are like, "Can we give the boys some of our fries and stuff to hold them over to?" My ex-husband was so embarrassed, and I'm like, "Oh, that's really sweet of you, but they'll be okay." But he was just like, "Nope, mm-mm."
I inherited all of my orneriness from my dad. It's like when we went to Outback Steakhouse when I was a kid, and I'm talking like 21, 22 years ago, something like that. We're at Outback Steakhouse, and this lady next to us has this huge weave thing in her head, and I
Mm.
swear to God, it looked like a tarantula. Like, there was a giant spider on her head. And you know how you get those big ass knives at Outback Steakhouse? They're like gigantic. It's like a freaking machete. And like it's way entirely too big. They bring you out the bread and butter, and you got this giant
Right. Yeah,
machete
this
that you're
huge.
supposed to scoop butter
Yeah.
and spread it on their bread that's only like this big. And so my dad's like this with the knife, with his eyes real big, like he's gonna stab the spider on this lady's head. And I'm just like, oh my god. And so now it's funny because I do it to Tiffany. We went to Red Lobster for her birthday years ago. I want to say it was been like 7 years ago because before we had Roderick. And we go to Red Lobster, and this is great. She wanted lobster. And usually she always gets like steak with a lobster tail. So when she tells me she wants lobster, I'm like, I'm going to order her a whole lobster. Well, they bring it out, and she looks at me and she goes, what in the hell am I supposed to do with this? And I'm like, if you've
Eat it?
never eaten a lobster before, and so I was like, well, here, let me show you how to do it. So, of course, I take the fork and I put it in the lobster's hand. And she had like mashed potatoes and stuff on her plate. And I was making him look like he was eating her mashed potatoes. And I was like, oh, yeah, I need some good potatoes. Mm-mm. And like the three tables around us were just cracking up laughing. And my wife's like, I hate you. I'm never going anywhere out to eat with you ever again. And she learned never to order a whole lobster, even though she really thought it was awesome how much meat the lobster has, other than the tail.
Yeah.
Like, who knew?
Yeah.
There was all this other parts of the lobster beside the tail. I mean, but it was so great. The look on her eyes. I mean, her eyes were like this big around. She's like, what am I supposed to do with this? I'm like, eat it? What do you mean? Here, let me get a sledgehammer. But anyway, thanks for being on tonight. I really appreciate you being
Oh,
here.
happy to be here.
I'm going to kick you to the green room and say my goodbyes.
Alrighty.
If you want to hang out for a minute, I'll be right back.
Sure. All right. Bye, guys.
Guys, thanks so much for watching tonight. Definitely check out April's Army. I think it sounds like a lot of fun. I love the cause. I'm a cat lover myself. I got baby Midnight upstairs. She's not a baby anymore. She's 15. She's old. But cats are awesome. And, you know, it's really cool to see that somebody takes a platform for something that's not meant to be. They do these streams, hey, we're feeding these animals, and inspiring people to give and help feed these animals. And it's great to see the community rallying up behind them and helping them, donating food, buying stuff from Amazon, and such and such. And then you've got Katrina who comes along. She's a big fan, and she decides she's going to write stories about these cats. What do they do on their adventures while they're in the town? And, you know, kids that love animals will definitely love this book. My kids love Tales from the Toy Store. Here's my copy right here. It's got a few stains on it, and they love the stories. This is also available on the Kickstarter, so please give it a share. If you know somebody who has kids, if you have grandkids that you want to give a Christmas present or a birthday present to, pick up these books. They're both reasonably priced. You can get them and send them to your grandkids, your kids, your friends' kids, whatever it is. Get a copy for your school to read to your kids. Definitely check it out. And again, for anybody that missed it, that joined in, there are coloring pages in here that they can color. And at the back of the book, I just passed it up. There's pages that you can color in here. And then in the back of the book, there is the link to the page to download and print those out. $3,000, we get to see Katrina get tattooed live. That's what we got to focus on. We got to hit that one. Then we got to get to the 10,000 foster kitty stretch goal. We can dream big. That's all I can say. But definitely check these projects out. If you have not only does she have these books, if you have a book that needs edited, check out Katrina. Katrina is the editor of Xenonanite Titan, The Fall Before the Rise, and soon to be book 2 when book 2 is done writing. So everyone, thanks so much for being here. For everyone who watches this back, thank you so much for watching this back. As always, this is Russ Explode Studios, projects that'll blow your mind. You guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you again on Sunday.